Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the banner unit NUOVA and EIS Shenron. Now, similar to the Gotenks, these guys kind of have a bad reputation for just not really being that good. And I think the case for these guys not being as good is a little bit more valid than compared to the Gotenks. Because the Gotenks has things like stacking, dodge, and he's healing. So he has a lot of things to where, even though he could have been better, I feel like he's still pretty good. And he's on a lot of teams too, so his utility is just very broad. But this guy, I think most notably, the one thing that really sucks with him is he's only on 3 categories. That's Shadow Dragon Saga, Joined Forces, and then GT Bosses. And all 3 of those categories just suck. I mean, Joined Forces is alright, but that's only the super class side. The extreme class side isn't really all that good. And of course, that's where this guy kind of falls into, so not really the best unit overall. I think especially for an anniversary unit, he should have been a lot better. But of course, in the future, you know, for part 2, we could get an LR Omega Shenron, and this guy could become a lot better. So we'll have to wait to see about that. But yeah, before we get into the video, just make sure you guys like and subscribe. Keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to the red zone test, or if you want to skip to the unit breakdown, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So starting off on this first rotation, the good thing about this guy is he has some good partners. I'm not saying his partners are good, but he just has a lot of partners. I mean, he's got this guy who is sharing a lot of links with him, and that is 6 out of 7 links. And then he's got this guy who most notably Easy Aid during the previous anniversary, and he shares 5 out of 7 links. So what I was trying to say was there's a lot of characters that share a lot of links with him. So that is a plus. That is obviously a good thing. And right here we're at 197k defense. That isn't good at all, but let's wait till we get the key spheres with him, because he is one of these units that needs key spheres to be at his max potential. I think he needs 7 key spheres to have everything in his passive unlocked. And we did get it right there, but his stats didn't go up, so I guess it's on super, is what I'm assuming. So we'll get to see what he performs right here, but just to briefly go over him, he does get 30% attack and defense on super. So, I mean, regardless, his super attack will just help his defense get a lot better, because obviously there's that 30% increase. And then, yeah, he does get 134% defense with 3 key spheres. So that does apply when he's attacking, so it's not start of turn. And right there, we're at a 4.1 million attack stat. I don't think that's good. That's pretty bad, actually, because we got all 7 key spheres. So we had his full passive activated, and we got the additional right there. Okay. So 4 million attack stats, basically. Not really that good, because defensively right there, I think we were at... Ooh, math is hard. A little over 400k defense. We did get the double super, though. So yeah, I think we were a little over 400k defense, which... yeah, that's just not good. I mean, I was going to say yeah, no, I can't defend that. That's just not good at all. That's pretty bad. I mean, especially considering, again, he's only on 3 categories. This guy needed to be good. And I hate to sound like DeTruth here, because DeTruth says this with almost every unit. But he needs guard, damage reduction, dodge. He needs more support. He needs all these things, because he really does. This guy just is not all that by himself. And that is really unfortunate, because the Shadow Dragon Saga team, the GT Bosses team, Joined Forces doesn't necessarily really need the help. I mean, it could use it, of course, but doesn't need it as much as GT Bosses or Shadow Dragon Saga. So the fact that this guy isn't as good does affect those teams, and it is unfortunate, because if we do get an LR Omega Shenron in part 2, then I don't really know how crazy he's going to be looking, because his partners aren't really all that good, and then of course that does affect him. But anyway, right here we've got a, well, the same rotation actually. We're going to have the same partners. So we're going to have 7 out of 7 links. Pretty good right there. One thing to mention actually is his link set is fairly good. One thing to notice is that he doesn't have big bad bosses, but they typically don't give EIS and NUOVA Shenron big bad bosses anyway, so I don't really think it's that big of a deal. But he does have stuff like Cold Judgment and GT, which both are a lot of defense. I think Cold Judgment is... well, we got to check now. Cold Judgment is, I think, 25% defense. Yeah, 25% defense with that. Not Fierce Battle. And, oh my god, I'm clicking everything wrong. So Cold Judgment is 25% defense. This is 10% defense, so that's 35% defense. Shadow Dragon Saga is another 20% defense. So that's 55% defense. Shocking Speed is 5% defense, so that's 60% defense. And then Gentleman is, oh my god, another 10% defense. Okay. So majority of this guy's links is just defense, and that's a good thing because, I mean, these are some pretty common links. I don't know, I guess not really, because Shadow Dragon is not common at all, and Gentleman isn't really that common. But Brutal Beatdown, Shocking Speed, Cold Judgment, GT, obviously Fierce Battle, those are all common links for the teams you're running him on. But, I mean, as we've said, unfortunately, you're only running him on, like, 3 teams. So, I mean, well, no, you're really only running him on, like, 2, and that's GT Bosses and Shadow Dragon Saga. So, alright, we'll check out this rotation right here. We will, I mean, see what attacks that he gets to. I think, I don't know, I think this guy's just he's just gonna age very poorly. Even if he's looking somewhat good right now, because this guy has no tech built in, he's just going to age out really quickly. I mean, I'm comparing him to the Gotenks because the Gotenks is the other banner unit. But the Gotenks has dodge, which of course is really useful because even when events get 4 times as difficult as they are now, you still have the dodge that basically is a chance to take no damage, or it is a chance to take no damage. And that is really useful. And then the Gotenks is stacking as well. So then he'll get to levels of defense in, I don't know, just in the end of fights. Even if he doesn't get there as fast, he does still get to some really good levels of defense just because he's stacking. But then these guys just, I mean, I guess you could triple super with them and you could approach like 700, 600k defense. And that's not bad for a banner unit. That's pretty good, but I don't know. I mean, considering what we got before the anniversary in terms of banner units, I was expecting a lot more from this guy. I mean, come on, we're comparing this guy to STR Piccolo, Android 8, Yajirobe, and it's just, it's night and day who's better. I mean, it really, they kind of like toned it down a little with the banner units. I think they realized they were making them just a little OP, which I wasn't complaining, because a Yajirobe, I mean, if anyone deserved the crazy unit, well, not if anyone deserved, but if anyone needed a crazy unit, it would be Yajirobe, because he's on all these really, really bad teams that just really need the help, and the fact that he's crazy is just really good. And the same cases with the Ice and Nova Shenron, but they just didn't make him good, so then it's just kind of a fail. But anyway, right here we're at 11 key spheres. Sorry, I had to go off on a little bit of a rant right there. We do have some support, so our stats are going to be a little bit better on this rotation. We're at 222k defense. Yeah, I keep on clicking on other things on accident. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's getting annoying, but yeah, that's not really the craziest defensive stat. Again, just not really anything else he's doing that makes it good. I mean, of course, there's the 134% defense when he's attacking, and then the 30% defense, and then if we get the additional, it's the it's another 30% defensive raise, which I guess it is worth mentioning. He does have a guaranteed additional at 7 key. But one thing to keep in mind is that 7 tech key spheres. It's not just 7 key spheres in general. So that can get a little complicated with this guy. We did get the additional right there. And I guess he is tech orb changing, right? He's changing AGL and STR key spheres to tech. So that's good. Oh, wow. Okay, we got triple super right there. And I mean, that's good because it'll help him get this a lot more often. But if you just get unlucky one rotation and then you just don't get the additional super, that is a lot of defense with this guy. And, of course, that could really make it to where you just take way too much damage, as if you weren't already going to be taking up damage, because his defensive levels, even in a good scenario, his defensive levels aren't that good. I mean, you know, like I was saying, like 400, 500, 600k defense with no guard, damage reduction, dodge. I don't see it. So, all right, what we'll do is on this next rotation, we will nuke with him, and then we will cut to... Where am I going to bring him? I got to think of like a difficult event. I guess because he's tech, it would make sense to bring him versus Broly. But I feel like that's gonna be kind of difficult, because I'm going to have to run this team in the Broly Red Zone stage. I guess maybe I could run Shadow Dragon Saga and just bring a bunch of Super Saiyan 4s. And then I might be able to get through there. But then does Shadow Dragon Saga even have a good lead? I don't know. Does it? Hang on, I gotta check really quick, because I don't think Shadow Dragon Saga has a good lead right now. I think the best lead for it is the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Well, no, it would be this Omega Shenron. So, okay. Alright, so there's not a better lead. I mean, I know we're running a Shadow Dragon Saga team right now, but I would obviously change the team up a little to fit more of Broly. I mean, you know, just to be able to survive. So, alright, well, we got really lucky with key spheres right here anyway. We've got a ton of support. And, all right, yeah, 222k defense. All right, not really that crazy, but let's go ahead and pop, no, not that one. Let's go ahead and pop this, and then, yeah, we'll go ahead and just cut to the legendary, or not the legend, we'll cut to the Broly stage. Sorry, I was focusing on his links and everything. So, okay, we're going to have 6 out of 7 links. Yeah, 6 out of 7 links. I was going to say I put him in slot 2. We'll have 7 out of 7, but all the tech key spheres are right there. So we'll go ahead and pop the World Tournament Announcer item. And, I mean, yeah, let's just see if he can cook right here. We got all the key spheres, so his passive is fully activated. We got I think we were at, what, 23 key spheres right there? So, oh my god. Almost 50k per normal from this phase of Vegeta. Well, we did hit a 10 million attack stat. Obviously, I mean, that is pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know, 1.8 million damage. We got the additional for almost 11 million damage. I will say this. I kind of like the animations for this guy. I don't know, they're nice. I like the dynamic between Nova and Ice Shenron. So seeing the dynamic in the super attack animations of this guy is pretty interesting to me. So, all right, well, I mean, that is pretty much all there is to show. This guy doesn't build up or anything like that. So his consistency will remain throughout the fight. So yeah, let's go ahead and cut to when we are in the Broly Red Zone stage. All right, so we're here fighting Red Zone Broly, and I had to kind of get clever. I had to run him on a joined forces team, so we could still get the 170% leader skill, but of course this is a pretty bad team for him. I mean, we did have to run the LR Omega Shenron and the other Shadow Dragons just to have a somewhat good linking partner with him, but this is really weird, and you won't be able to do this in actual difficult events. I'm not saying this isn't a difficult event, but we're very clearly going to die right here, and you won't be able to do this and get away with it. So I mean, I'm going to pop a Sensu Bean so this first attack doesn't just destroy us, but I'm pretty sure we're dead right here. I brought some orb-changing items just to help out a little. This isn't actually affecting his stats. This is just making it to where the key spheres are just changing. So this isn't a nuking item. This is simply just changing the key spheres. So, I mean, our attack stat isn't going to be, like, enhanced or anything right there. I just wanted to do that so we can make sure we had everything in his passive activated. And we do. So, I mean, let's just go ahead and see how much he takes from a normal. If we get supered in that first slot right there, we did. So, let's hope we don't. All right, cool. So, we took 78k from a normal. Wait, are we taking double digits from Broly? All right, wait, maybe I'm a little too harsh on him. Because I'm pretty sure we're taking double digits from Broly, at least his normals right here. I mean, we got the double super, we got the extra 134% defense from his passive. So yeah, actually, we're taking double digits right here. All right, my bad. I was almost positive we were gonna die right there. I mean, if we got supered before we even attacked or anything, we probably would have. But I was very confident. But okay, actually, he did a lot better than I thought right there. Unfortunately, yeah, the LR Shadow Dragons are taking a little bit too much damage, but of course they're type neutral, and then the the Ice Nova Shenron, they do have type advantage in here, so it does kind of work out for them. That's why I brought him in here, but you can't really get away with this team because you need a good linking partner for them, and you can't really, there's not really that many good linking partners for him on the Joined Forces team. So, yeah, but let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. I think overall he performed pretty well in there, much better than I thought, but just his teams, man, that's what kills it for me. So let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. Okay, so here we have Evil Cold and Burning Pride, Nova and Ice Shenron. So starting off with their leader skill, it is GT Bosses, category Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 130%. Their super attack is that they raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause supreme damage with a great chance of stunning. So I don't think I mentioned this, but a 70% chance to stun is extremely useful. I mean, you take that in Super Battle Road, obviously you have a very, very good chance to stun. You get it off, and then bam, you're taking no damage, as long as you target the enemy that is attacking him. So, of course, that is really useful. And then his passive is that he changes AGL and STR key spheres to tech key spheres. He gets attack and defense plus 134%, and then he gets an additional defense plus 134% when attacking with 3 or more key spheres obtained. He gets an additional attack plus 134% when attacking with 4 or more key spheres obtained. And then he launches an additional super attack when attacking with 7 or more tech key spheres obtained. So the super attack is restricted to the 7 or more tech key spheres. So you do have to keep that in mind. You can't just grab any color. It has to be 7 tech key spheres exactly. And then he gets attacks effective against all types when the target enemy is stunned. That's not really that useful. I mean, You might be able to make some use out of that in Super Battle Road, but other than that, I feel like you're not really going to see that, at least as much as you would see other things in his passive. His links are Gentleman, Brutal Beatdown, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, GT, Shadow Dragons, and Fierce Battle. I mean, of course, like I said, GT, Cold Judgment, Shadow Dragons, Gentleman, all that is giving him a ton of defense. So for sure, that is good, because a lot of defense in his links is good, because then, I don't know, it just makes him look better, obviously, because you run him next to the units where he shares the links with, he gets the defense, and most of the people that you're going to be linking him with have these links, so it just kind of works out in his favor. But, yeah, I would say in terms of his link set, it is pretty good considering who you're running him with. But then we run into his main issue, who you're running him with. So his categories are GT Bosses, Shadow Dragon Saga, and Joined Forces. So, I mean, you could run him on GT Bosses and then run him with other Omega Shenrons and Sin Shenrons, but then they're all bad, so that just can't really work. You could run him on Shadow Dragon Saga, but then, I mean, you still have to run him with other Omega Shenrons, Sin Shenrons, Nova Shenrons, Ice Shenrons, all that, and none of them are really good, so then you run into an issue. I guess you could surround him by, like, Super Saiyan 4 units, which won't link with him at all. They're probably just going to share, like, GT and Shocking Speed and Fierce Battle, which, I mean, that is 3 out of 7 links, but like I said, he gets a ton of defense on his links, so missing out on the Gentleman, Cold Judgment, Shadow Dragons is, you're missing out on a core part of the unit. And then you could run him on Joined Forces like we did in the Broly stage, but that's just, it doesn't really work like that. I just kind of had a perfect setup, but you can't really just run him on Joined Forces, at least for now. I mean, maybe in the future if we get more Omega Shenrons and like other Shadow Dragons, maybe you could run a full Extreme Class Joined Forces team, but for now, it just, these categories don't really work well for him, so. All right, well, that has been the video. Let me know what you guys think of this guy down in the comments. Let me know if you think I was too harsh or if you think I was too kind of nice on him. And let me know your opinion about this guy, because a lot of people really don't like him. I am kind of in that boat. I think this guy should have been a lot better, especially considering he was an anniversary unit. But yeah, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.